On va donc maintenant remettre le prix Vautrin-Lud 2025. J'appelle donc sur scène son lauréat de l'édition 2025, Anssi PAASI, accompagné du fondateur du Festival international de géographie, Christian PIERRET.
Alors, je vais avoir le plaisir, en une seconde, de vous présenter M. Anssi PAASI, qui vient de Finlande et qui est lauréat du prix Vautrin-Lud, dont vous savez tous ici qu'il est la récompense d'un travail scientifique, comme toujours, d'une excellente qualité au niveau mondial, et qu'il situe Anssi PAASI dans les grands géographes. Aussi, il intervient également à l'Union géographique internationale, grand géographe qui est né en Finlande, qui a soutenu son doctorat de géographie à l'université de Joensuu et qui est professeur émérite de géographie politique à l'université d'Oulu en Finlande. Son travail général, on va en parler très vite, mieux que je ne saurais le faire, se concentre sur la théorie de l'institutionnalisation des régions et des identités spatiales. Je crois qu'on peut applaudir notre lauréat. I invite you to have your speech here from here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear geographers and geographers' friends, what is geography to me is a question that a professional geographer is unlikely to ask himself very often. He probably simply does or performs geography in his or her research and teaching. Both research and teaching activities, of course, reveal something about the researcher's understanding of what geography is or it should be. Yet he is likely to encounter much more often the general but not so personal question, what is geography? A question to which there are countless answers, both from professional geographers and ordinary citizens. Doing or performing geography in research and teaching without doubt reveals something about researchers' broader academic socialization as a member of the local, national and international geographical community. It also indicates the researcher's academic and societal intentions as a member of one's own academic department. Similarly, the national context can be critical in shaping this understanding. In many countries, geography is situated within the natural sciences, while in others it is within the social sciences or humanities. These backgrounds often influence what is considered meaningful or proper geography and geographical research. In the Finnish education system, geography has been traditionally combined with the natural sciences, reflecting the influence of the German academic tradition on Finnish geography and Finnish teacher education. Currently, the main influences for research come doubtless from the Anglophone world, as is typical in many countries nowadays. Studying geography was not a given to me. After high school and military service, I devoted myself with great excitement to geography entrance exam. In this exam, I had to master a newly published textbook. This book changed my perception of what geography could be. The natural geography and descriptive regional geography I studied in high school gave thus way to a more theoretical geography that resonated with social sciences. I was fascinated by systems thinking, for example, and more geographically spatial thinking and spatial concepts. I was also excited by the sections that dealt with the history of geography and the interpretations of the relationship between humans and the environment. Both I and my fiancée passed the entrance exam easily, and we started as new geography students at the University of Joensuu in the fall of 1976. One could perhaps argue that my wife and I have lived our lives deeply in geography since the 80s, I, as an academic researcher and professor focusing on political geography and regional theories, and C, as a lecturer at the university's training school. The decision to study geography at the University of Joensuu instead of the more traditional departments in Helsinki and Turku was a critical step that has very likely shaped my understanding of what geography is for me today. Geography in Joensuu was in the same faculty as history and social sciences, not natural sciences. The staff at Joensuu department consisted of young, motivated researchers. We were eager to learn emerging trends and ideas in international geography, but also to get acquainted with the history of geography. We adopted the identity of a social and cultural scientist, which is not at all popular among many senior geographers and professors in other Finnish universities. Ultimately, we wanted to change and internationalize Finnish geography, which we saw as rather isolated and inwards-oriented. In such efforts, I have preferred a historically informed processual approach to geographical concepts that resonates with broader social theory. If I think OECD's traditional divide between basic research, applied research and development activities, my geography has without doubt been basic research. This tendency has been supported by the fact that I was a full-time researcher in the Academy of Finland for 13 years. Academy in particular encourages basic research. I completed my master's degree in less than 3 years. Next year wrote my licentiate thesis on migration and spatial scales and started my first articles on regional and territorial concepts, region formation, concepts of space, borders and regional identity, all themes that led to my PhD thesis on the institutionalization of regions. These geography's basic categories and their shifting meanings have been the main inspiration for my work for decades. They have been a crucial part of what geography means to me. I have also been inspired by the diverse conceptual meanings of the term geography itself. Consequently, I see geography meaningful in 3 senses. First, geography as a real-world geography, the spatiality of the world and socio-spatial relations, that is cultural, economic and political relations that constitute and frame this geography that occurs and transforms in specific environments. Geography discipline, in my opinion, focuses on understanding and explaining relevant sociospatial and natural relationships and interactions that shape our world. Secondly, geography as a specific academic institution that has both national and international relational history and that is constantly characterized by power relations. There exist different contested views on what the history of geography means. The broadest views extend to ancient times, a view that dominates most history books in geography. For my work, the most relevant history of geography is related to academic institution of geography, both in its general features and national specificities and inherent relations of power. Such view locates the birth of geography in the second half of the 19th century and sees it as a product of power relations, especially nationalism and imperialism, as has been observed by many scholars. Thirdly, geography means for me the intellectual and conceptual content of this field. In my research, this refers above all theorizing and analyzing empirically how territories, regions and places are socially constructed, frequently politically contested, and how they become in a way as processes and how they ultimately may disappear. The borders of such entities, whether they are municipalities, provinces, states or suprastate units, may be relatively open or closed, depending on the context. This approach to geography forces us to reflect on how these critical spatial entities affect and are affected by power relations in the fields of politics, economy, governance, social control and socio-spatial identities. These three related views or modalities have also different implications for our understanding of what geography is and does. In my case, they mean that I have tried to keep in mind a classical idea of geography's synthetic role. This simply means that I favor a concept of theory that puts emphasis on conceptualization rather than using certain given theories as ordering frameworks. Similarly, it also encourages the use of variety of possible research materials, making the research products tick, perhaps somewhat in the synthetic spirit of classical regional geography. I am also a strong supporter of reflexive approach that is ready to explore geography's own assumptions, histories, and roles in the production of knowledge and in producing and reproducing both social and academic power structures. This dynamic view implies that my geography changes and develops constantly. Thank you for your attention. Merci beaucoup.
And a few gifts. I hope it can fit in your bag.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Et je remercie au passage l'équipe du prix Vautrin-Lud, qui est évidemment une équipe scientifique indépendante du Festival international de géographie, qui remet chaque année le prix. Ce matin, il y a une conférence scientifique d'Anssi PAASI, et là, donc, c'est le discours de réception désormais habituel. Il n'est pas encore traditionnel parce que c'est que la deuxième année autour de la question, vous l'avez compris, qu'est-ce que pour moi la géographie ?